Hey everyone, it's patch time. I love patch time. We're gonna read Preseason 2023, the entire preview, which I'm hoping there's a lot of, because I got food, I got coffee, I got a pretty good strawberry milkshake. And we're gonna go through this whole thing, okay? This whole thing, we're going through it all, okay? So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment down below on your thoughts, and let's start getting through this. This is Preseason 2023 preview. A quick and easy reference guide for all Preseason 2023 content coming to the PBE. I got on my nice sweater for this one, which I will have to take off at some point here because I am dying, and this little joke I'm doing is not worth the damage it is doing to my soul. Preseason 2023 changes will begin hitting PBE tomorrow. Before they're out, we wanted to walk you through all the changes you can expect to see roll out to the PBE over the next few weeks. I will only pay attention to what Riot says, because the PBE is whiffy-waffy. It can go one way, it can go the other way. Like, it can change. Okay, I'm actually dying already. Holy shit, it's so hot. Why am I wearing a sweater? I'm in Texas. Jesus Christ. Okay. We're shipping them a bit early this year to give us time to test our changes and gather your feedback. So make sure you get those games in because there's plenty to try out. Okay, so as I said, this is why I'm not gonna go over the PBE. I'm gonna go over everything here, but the thing is, the PBE, like everything's gonna change like day to day, week to week. So even bothering to go over that stuff, like there's like no point in even doing it, okay? Housekeeping note, things will be in a pretty early state when you first see them, so expect changes to things like icons, items, and effects names, visual and sound effects, stat values, and more as we continue to test features during the PBE. Barring massive table flips, this preview page won't be updated after publishing. When the patch notes come out, all of the final details as usual. So this is what I actually talk to all the time. If you look at the PBE changes, and some people, they like tweet and shit, and they go on the PBE, and they like data mine some of the stuff and they tweet out and they're like, the official Riot change is coming out, and then like the very next day they like do the opposite of that change. They like undo that change. That's, in my opinion, clickbaiting. It's incredibly attention whoring. Don't pay attention to those people. Pay attention when the final notes come out. Pay attention to what's there. Pay attention to this, okay? I just want to get that out of the way because I see this fucking attention whoring happening all the time. It happens all the time, and yeah, I don't want to be a part of that, okay? All right. Well, Preseason 13 has been ruined. Season 13 is over. I'm thinking maybe Season 14 will be better. Unfortunately, the return of Chemtech means Season 13 is doomed. It's gone. Unfortunately, I'm gonna turn the stream off. We'll stream again in a year, but until okay. What? Right? Okay. Chemtech will be returning this preseason with a brand new buff and soul. Then why even call it Chemtech Drake? Right? Why even do that? That's like, what are we gonna call it? The AIDS dragon? The Iraq war dragon? Like, why even call it Chemtech Dragon if it's not Chemtech Dragon? You're just using like the worst dragon that has ever existed. You're using that dragon and that name as a totally different dragon. I feel like you're Chemtech Drake will now grant a small amount of tenacity and heal shield strength when slain. That actually seems good, because that means, okay, let me think here. So you have Mountain Dragon, Ocean Dragon, and then Chemtech Dragon will be the defensive ones. The offensive ones will then be Wind Dragon, Piltover Dragon, and Charmander Dragon. So that actually keeps it 50-50. You know, because it'll be like, yeah, like half the dragons are offensive, half of them are defensive, okay? Yeah, so everybody get that? Chemtech Soul will grant bonus damage. Chemtech Soul will grant bonus damage when below a certain amount of health. Okay, so they're just bringing back that cringe. No, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. It's Okay, tenacity on a dragon's cool. Heal and shield strength when slain. What does that mean? Oh, when slain means when the dragon is slain. Okay, I'm overthinking this. So it's tenacity and heal and shield strength. Those values are gonna have to be really low to actually be balanced. Like, even 5% of each of those values would get kind of out of hand. 20% tenacity and 20% heal and shield strength would get really out of hand really quickly. I'm interested because I already know people are going to complain. There's going to be 900 complaints in like 7 seconds from now. And they're all going to be saying, oh my god, how dare you put out a dragon that's so broken on bruisers. Like, bruisers won't even have used it yet and it'll already have ruined the game because of bruisers. Like, I already see those complaints happening. Alongside the Chemtech drink, the Rift will take on a new Chemtech-inspired appearance, featuring Zonite chemicals and mutated jungle plants with upgraded effects. Okay, so they're literally not using anything from the old Chemtech dragon. Seriously, just call it the AIDS dragon at that point. You're using like a name that has a really, really bad memory, okay? It's a really bad memory. Chemtech Dragon, nobody likes Chemtech Dragon. So like, why, when it has a different map, different soul, different buff, why are you using AIDS Dragon as a name? Honey fruits will upgrade into stem fruits. Oh wait, blast cones will blast those in range twice as far as before. That, okay, I'll be honest, that actually does kind of sound fun. It sounds really annoying, but it also does sound like it could be kind of fun. I'm split 50-50 on this one. Honey fruits will upgrade into stem fruits, no longer slowing champions that consume them and granting a small bonus shield in addition to the usual shield. That also sounds really annoying and yet fun. It seems like what they're trying to do is like once Chemtech Dragon is like on the map, that then like the things on the map are gonna matter more. So like if someone runs away and like starts eating all the stem fruits and they're just like, nom, 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 they're eating all the fruits, right? Then they're gonna get like a shield. They're not slowed, so they can just like nom, 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 them all really fast, right? And then they get, what is it? It's like 5% health per fruit, so like 25% health heal, a small shield. I mean, yeah. Squire's Bloom will upgrade into Stalker's Bloom. When hit, these plants will now reveal a small circular area around the plant and a cone opposite to the direction it was hit, granting movement speed towards revealed champions and reducing wards revealed to 1 health. Okay, that kind of sounds really funny. You have to like go to the other side of it and then you blow it up and it goes behind you. This is really the Bruiser Dragon, isn't it? All these changes sound really good for bruisers, and all these changes sound kind of like for everyone else. Can you imagine you're playing like Vayne and Chemtech Dragon hits the field and you're just like, cool, awesome. Jungle improvements. Avatar, smites, and jungle pets. The jungle is a dangerous place and it's dangerous to go alone. So take one of these jungle. Oh, we're buffing jungle! Yay! Oh, we have to do our yearly jungle buff because, look, you'll need to remember that jungle is the strongest role in the game and has been for 5 years. So every year we need to keep buffing jungle until no one actually wants to queue for jungle anymore, because the game might as well be called like Jungler and the Laners. Like it's like a band, right? It's like a band. It's like one of those shows from like the 80s, like Josie and the Pussycats, Jungler and the Laners. It's just like, obviously the jungle is just more important than everyone else, so we need to keep buffing it because it's not good enough. It's not good enough. These pets will acquire traits through monster kills and slowly over time as the game progresses, which will help them evolve. Once evolved, pets will give their owners avatar buffs, which empower them with different abilities. Noxian Embercat. This will be the pet of choice for junglers looking to play more aggressively. It will provide slows and bonus damage. Who fucking asked? Who asked for this? Who said the jungler needs a fucking slow and bonus damage, right? Could you please give that to them? Ixtali Ixamander. This jungle pet is perfect for junglers looking to frontline and tank for their team. I'm not even gonna look. What does it do? It just fucks your opponent, right? It just fucks them. It literally comes out and it actually just fucks them, right? What does it do? Okay, let me just guess here. A shield based on your HP, more heal and shield power, negative tenacity for opponents. What horrible thing is it gonna do here? Let's look here. It will provide a shield based on your health and provides bonus slow resistant tenacity when broken. I didn't read that. I swear to you, I didn't read that. I literally just guessed what the worst fucking thing could possibly be. I literally just, like, in my mind, I'm like, what is the dumbest fucking thing that could ever happen? Period. There you go. Ionian Cloudkeeper. This jungle pet would be great for junglers looking to rotate and move around the map more quickly. It will provide bonus movement speed. We know which jungle pet's getting reworked the quickest. After a 0% pick rate, Ionian Cloud Leaper might get a rework. Leashing range indicators. In an effort to make the jungle more welcoming for players unfamiliar with the role, we'll be adding visual leashing indicators that will show how far camps can be pulled before the patient starts diminishing. We're also decreasing the distance camps can be pulled, so no more having to stand on the perfect pixel in order to hyper-optimize your jungle clears. Honestly, I'm okay with that. Look, lowering the skill cap of the jungle is probably fine, and stopping people from being able to double pull is obviously a very good thing. So, in all honesty, no memes. Like, I'm not memeing. I'm not gonna do a bit here, right? Like, I'm not gonna overreact or anything like that. If a change is a good change, that's good, right? So this is good. Honestly, that's fine. No complaints. Recommended Jungle Pass. Another addition we make to make the jungle more accessible. A recommended Jungle Pass for every champion. These first clear paths were determined by gathering data from high-skilled junglers and their highest mastery across the globe. Pathing recommendations are based on which routes most often led these players to a victory and will be updated next patch. Well, damn it! Every recommended jungle path is gonna say to clear the bot lane. This is it, guys. This is the end of top lane ever getting a gank. Every recommended change is gonna say, start top, force your top laner to leash for you, then go to bot lane. Communication tools. Updated ping wheel. I could do the meme that they're not adding voice chat and instead they're adding more pings. I could make that joke, but it's a low-hanging fruit. But in all seriousness, Valorant has a voice chat. Why don't we get a voice chat? Why don't we get super pings? Can you imagine Valorant? They get like a ping. They gotta like scroll up over here, sniper over here. Like they gotta like ping that shit. Like what? Sure, right? Sure. So we got enemy vision, some sort of sparkle, friendly ward, maybe. Go here. Danger, assist me. I'm assuming that's just danger and I'm coming and assist me. And this one looks like the ping you spam on your teammates every time they don't gank your lane every 2 seconds. Okay. And a fishing lure, a shield, 2 swords, and what looks like a dead caster. I'm guessing this one is fight. This one is guard. I'm not really sure what the fishing lure is there for. Alright. Retreat. On my way. Assist me. Push. All in. Hold. And bait. Why is that hold? Why is dead caster minion hold? Bait? Just... I'm gonna be pinging every time I'm in top lane. I'm spamming baiting on myself. I'm gonna just spam bait the entire game. Hey, top laner, what are you doing? I'm baiting. I'm baiting in top lane. No vision pings. We're also adding entirely new ping wheel that focuses primarily. Okay, yeah, I don't care about that. Okay, that was his stuff. So it's. Yeah, vision cleared, enemy vision, need vision. Yeah, okay. This is enemy vision, this is need vision, this is sparkles, which they sparkle. Objective voting. Getting your team on board with taking objective can be difficult, and having everyone ping on my way if they can contest, if retreat, if they can't, be very confusing. Okay. Having everyone ping on my way if they can contest. They should have put a comma there. Riot, could you edit a comma in here? Because that would make this make like a lot more sense. Ping on my way if they can contest, or retreat if they can't. Then you add a second comma here. Right, that's how you do grammar. Like you if you have separate thoughts, you partition them off with a comma. I haven't even been in school for like 12 years. I mean, that's just how. Okay. Can get very confusing. We're introducing a new voting function that will appear when objectives are pinged that will function similarly to a surrender vote. Now all players can vote and indicate whether or not they'd like to take a contest or contest that objective. Great, actually that's good. Because what can happen now is your team can be like, do you want to surrender? And everyone's like, no. And you're like, do you want to get the objective? And everyone's like, no. And you're like, okay, I'll go back to baiting on top lane then. Off-screen pings. The last communication change we have with you is a small quality of life update that will notify which direction an off-screen ping came from by displaying it at the edge of your screen. Enemy missing ping will show on your screen regardless of where they are pinged on the map, while retreat on my way. See how they use commas here? Right, put this comma up here. See how these commas make this so much more readable? Retreat on my way, assist me, hold all in, and push pings will be displayed if they're pinged within 3,000 units, approximately corner to corner of your screen while fully zoomed out, or 20 TMOs of your screen's edge. Okay, honestly, all these changes are good. All these changes are perfect. I have never, in all my life, I never thought I could finally spam bait in top lane. That is all I want. Is just to bait in top lane all day. But no, these are good. These are good. None of these are bad. This is good. This is good. Objective voting is also good. Off-screen pings are also good. All of this is good. Honestly, everything here is good. Not a single bad change here. Not one complaint out of me. Allied ward tracking. While there are currently ways to see how many wards you have, there isn't a quick way to check which wards are closest to expiring other than manually looking at every ward placed. Well, yeah? We're introducing new ward visuals in the minimap that'll indicate when wards are close to expiring. They will change appearance when wards reach 60 and 30 seconds remaining before they expire. I mean, it's a good change. I don't really have any. Americans will use everything other than the metric system. That's about 20 TMOs away. Yeah, this is good. Actually, I mean, in all fair, it's a weird change. I'm not sure I asked for it, but it's not a bad change. Enemy ward timers. It can be hard to keep track of every single ward that gets placed on the map, and even harder to successfully communicate that information to your teammates. Now, if you ping an enemy ward that you saw them place within the last 10 seconds, a perfectly accurate ward timer will appear until the ward is removed or expires. I actually disagree. I don't like this one at all, actually. I'm gonna be dead honest. I don't like this one at all. This is too much. This is way too much. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all. What? So if you see a top laner ward, you can just ping the ward? I mean, and then you get to perfectly see it. I feel like that's gonna be such a giga buff for junglers. Now, junglers could already keep track of wards, but again, it could be hard to keep track of every ward at the same time, right? So this is literally just gonna be, my top laner knows the other top laner doesn't have a ward. Like, this is just gonna, this is actually bad. No, I really dislike this change. Recommended rune pages and summoner spells. Another change we're excited to introduce are optional recommended rune pages and summoner spells in Champ Select. Once you lock in your champion, you'll see a recommended runes button to the left of the edit rune pages button. Opening this interface will display up to 3 runes and summoner spell setups you'll be able to select to use in game. This system is still being fine-tuned, so you can expect to see more on this later in the preseason. That's fine. These recommendations will be updated once per patch and are informed by what setups are optimal and popular. Of course, you're always welcome to Theorycraft and bring whatever loadouts you want. That's fine too, Alpha. We're also helping players in game by providing them with recommended ability levels up. These will indicate which abilities are typically ranked up at each level, and similar to the above, will be updated once a patch based on what is currently optimal. That's a terrible change. How is everyone gonna yell at me to max E on Olaf now? Why is everyone gonna say, why don't I max W second on Aatrox? They're just gonna see right there in front of me that these are blatantly the best things to do. Why would they do that? Extremely stupid players should actually be able to annoy me all the time, non-stop, forever. Riot is saving my mental, which I don't think they need to do. Oh, top lane changes. Woo, okay. We'll also be making some adjustments to help top laners scale better and hit those key item and level breakpoints faster relative to mid and bot. Ooh, I was gonna make a joke. The first thing I was gonna say is, I bet they're just gonna buff top lane and then they're gonna buff mid lane at the same time. So top lane will still end up just being the worst version of mid lane. Like that, in my mind, that's what I was thinking. Because like every other time they buff top lane, they're like, solo laners will get more XP. And then they also buff mid lane. And I'm like, so top is still just shitty mid lane, right? Like, okay. Solo lanes will now receive 95% experience multiplier, previously 93% from minions. Dual lanes will now receive a 22% bonus experience multiplier, previously 24.73% from minions. Okay, but like, you don't need to make bot lane shittier to make top lane good. I actually kind of disagree with that. Like, I'll feel for bot laners on this one. I don't think it's good for the game that, like, every time they want top lane to be better, they just sort of make bot lane feel even worse to play. Like, it doesn't feel good that in a bad situation that you can be like level 6 roamed by the top laner at level 4, right? Like, no one likes that. I don't think that's a good idea. Mid lane gold changes. All minions spawned in the mid lane will now be worth 1 less gold before 14 minutes when last hit. It's not a lot, but it's something. Honestly, it's something. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, this doesn't really do that much. Junglers will still have XP threshold, and with the buff to junglers, all this really means at the end of the day is that jungle can still gank level 2 to your level 1, level 3 to your level 2, level 4 to your level 3. They can still always have a level advantage on you. They can still just run into your lane, gank you, and even if you don't die, help set up a slow push or a hold, something like that, so that either they can dive you or they can zone you off the game. Still, to the end of the day, the only counter to a jungler is a jungler. I make this joke before, but it's like, do you guys ever watch Conan the Barbarian? In Conan the Barbarian, they make a joke that only a mage is strong enough to defeat a mage. Because in Conan, mages are like, they're like, what do you call it? It's like old, like low magic? There's like high magic and low magic in stories. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? This is like an actual thing. Anyway, Conan is like low magic, where like there's not that much magic in the world, but the people that do have magic are like extremely popular. So think Harry Potter's like high magic. There's so much magic and it's really not that powerful at the end of the day. Like a dude with a handgun could take down Voldemort, right? And so anyway, I'm going somewhere with this. In Conan the Barbarian, mages are so powerful that the only thing that can defeat a mage is a mage. Now Conan does defeat mages because he's goddamn Conan the Barbarian, right? But it's something that was said, right? And as of right now, you probably know where I'm going with this joke. As of right now, the only thing that can beat a jungler is a jungler. Top lane has no counterplay, no gameplay, nothing that can be done on their own to defeat a jungler. That is it. Until they do something. They need to slow the jungle down. They need to do something so that jungle is slower so that they cannot always determine who wins top lane. Bot lane can do something because they have 2 people. A 2v3 potentially is much easier to win. In particular, because they can play defensively, play with the minions, play with the turret. Top lane, you cannot win a 2v1 in any world ever period. It's not gonna happen outside of like 0.1% of games. Once you get out of like platinum, a platinum and above, no one loses a 2v1. It just doesn't happen. Later in the game, maybe, but we're talking level 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? New and updated items. We're introducing 12 new / updated items this preseason. A disclaimer, please note that item stats, effects, and even names are subject to change while in the PvE. Okay, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Because all this stuff is subject to change, I'm not gonna sit here and just hate on everything, right? Like, if an item sounds OP, I'll just assume it's probably gonna be nerfed at some point, right? If an item sounds underpowered, I'll just assume it's gonna be buffed at some point. Like, I'm gonna be fair to Riot on this one. I'm not just gonna sit here and just like make like really sniping comments like, yeah, this item needs 5 more armor. Without that, it's useless. No, Riot, you are so dumb. Like, that's dumb. All right, that's a dumb thing to do. It's not cool, right? Okay. Icathia's Endurance, mythic item. Health, armor, magic resist, ability haste. That is certainly a list of stats right there. Health, armor, magic resist, ability haste. So this is a tank item. Okay. For each second in champion combat, gain a stack granting 3 armor and magic resist up to 10 max. For each second. So at 10 seconds is a long time though. That's 30 armor and magic resist. That's not really that much, particularly with how much pen you can get, but okay. I mean, it's good though, right? At max stack, become empowered. After 10 seconds. You only get empowered after 10 seconds. That is a long time, Riot. Okay, that is a very long time. Instantly draining enemies around you for 4% of your maximum health, each reduced to 1% of minions and monsters. Each what? Instantly draining enemies around you for 4% of your maximum health each. Each enemy or each second? It doesn't actually say the time. Each second? Each half second? Each minute? Every hour? Once per game? I don't know. Each game? Is it what? Okay, I'm going to assume it's each second. I'm going to assume each second. And doubling your resist from stacks until the end of combat, 60-second cooldown. Is it each enemy once? Each once? Do you just They're not very clear with this. I'm not trying to play dumb. I'm not trying to like do a bit here. I'm actually saying I'm confused. 4% max health once is not that much. 4% a second is a lot. So, and draining. Does draining mean doing damage or is that healing? If I heal, right? That's a big deal. If after 10 seconds I do this like giga heal and I'm like and I just like I just eat everyone's health around me. I'm just like I'm like a swain and I'm just like right, like if that's something, then okay. But if they mean by drain they just mean damage, then that's a whole other thing, right? So I'm gonna be honest, this is very confusing. So, it is potentially up to 90 armor and magic resist forever. That is giga tanky. That's like giga super mega ultra super tanky. This is like a tank's tank item. This is like the tankiest tank item I've ever seen in my life. I think this is actually the tankiest item they've ever added into League of Legends. But 10 seconds. You need to last for 10 seconds. Dang. Okay. Mythic passive, grant other legendary items 5 armor and magic resist. Yeah, I mean, it's the tankiest item that's ever been added into League of Legends. That's, I'm imagining Zac, maybe. Like a champion with really high sustain damage for a tank. I don't think a champion like Ornn goes this, because Ornn doesn't do enough sustained damage to kill people. I think like Zac could do this. Maybe we could see it on like Swain, maybe, hypothetically. I don't know, probably not. I don't think bruisers could do this. I mean, no, I don't think bruisers. I can't think many bruisers can swing just straight up not having a damage item up front. It's interesting. I think it looks way more powerful than it will be in game. I'm definitely suspecting we're gonna see a lot of Reddit posts on the front page where like someone with Liandry's or Demonic Embrace accidentally kept like a Scion in combat indefinitely, and then like Xerath like whacks a Scion with a Q like 3 times in a row, and then oh, he's been in combat for 10 seconds, and then he just runs up with 90 armor and magic resist, and there's like a post on Reddit of like 5 people like just beating the shit out of Scion for like 20 seconds because he stacked this shit up. Like I'm imagining that's gonna be on the front page of the subreddit a few times. That's what I think. There's no immolate passive. There's no damage at all on this item. You need to have your own form of damage and sustain damage off your own build. You cannot build this unless you have damage. So I don't think we're going to see it on Ornn. I don't think we're going to see it on most tanks at all, actually. We might see it maybe on like... Again, I'm thinking like Zac. Maybe Mundo if he gets a little bit of a rework. That's about it. I think even Mord doesn't work with this. I don't think Darius works with this. I don't think anyone works with this, because the issue is, like, how do you guarantee your enemies don't just walk away from you, right? Like they're just gonna like they're just gonna right click away, and you're like, no, stop! I'm stacking! Like they just walk away. Maybe Cho'Gath, yeah. Okay, let's move on. Radiant Virtue, mythic item. 400 health, armor, magic resist, ability haste. Okay, so once again, we have a new tank mythic. I guess that's the trend we're going with, okay? Guiding Light. Upon casting your ultimate, you transcend. So it's an Aatrox item, I'm joking. Increasing your maximum health by 10% for 9 seconds. While transcended, you and your allies within 1200 range of you gain 25 non-ultimate ability haste. You and your allies will also heal for 1.5% of your maximum health every 3 seconds, increased by up to 100% based on that champ's missing health. Healing is doubled on yourself. Now that's interesting. I'm thinking Mundo. I'm not thinking Nasus, I'm gonna be honest, because Nasus tends to ult when he's already at full HP. So like half this shit doesn't do anything. I'm thinking Mundo, increasing your max health when you ult. So now your ult heals for even more. Okay, that's Mundo, because he can also heal all his allies, heal himself. That's great shit. 25 non-ultimate ability haste is also really good for champions with spammable base damage. I don't think bruisers can afford to have a non-damaging mythic. Even Sunfire does decent damage still on bruisers, and most bruisers can't even go Sunfire anymore. So I don't imagine any bruiser goes with this item. Not Alistar either, because Alistar needs to go with one of the support items. Alistar doesn't tend to ult also to keep himself alive. Alistar just ults right at the beginning, and then nobody targets him because he's in his ult. Garen can't go this, he needs damage. I'm imagining, yeah, I'm imagining Zac. Maybe Zac, because like he gets burst. I don't know. Definitely Mundo. This is definitely a Mundo thing. Like of every champion in the game that I think like 100% can afford to go without damage, who also wants the mythic passive for 100 health, I'm thinking 100% Mundo. Shen, how this wouldn't work on Shen. Shen ults at full HP. Why would Shen give a shit about healing if he's already at full HP? Shen would want Sunfire too for wave clear. No, not Singed. Singed, guys, how would guys, oh my god, you guys are so stupid, you're giving me an aneurysm. Why the fuck would Singed wait till he's dead and then ult? He could just ult at full HP and then he wouldn't die because he would have 100 armor and magic resist. I'm moving past it. You know what, all y'all bitches are gonna build this item. Okay, you're gonna build this item, you're gonna go in your solo queue game, you're gonna type to your team, hey guys, this item's like super good on me, I'm going, what is this, I'm going, Radiant Virtue Teemo, don't worry, I'll just put a shroom down and then I'll heal to full, and your team's just gonna be like, no, Teemo, stop, Teemo, no, Teemo! Iceborne Gauntlet, okay. Health, armor, and ability haste. Oh, I don't like that at all. No. Okay. The issue with Riot forcing the mythic items to be armor or magic resist, the issue with this is if I'm playing Mundo and I need Iceborne Gauntlet because I need this slow, but what if I'm fighting Teemo? What if I'm fighting Kennen, right? So now I just can't go Iceborne Gauntlet because I'll be building armor early game into Teemo. Like, do you see the issue here? This is a bad, Riot, I promise you, this is a bad design decision. This is why you undid it. It was very lame when the ideal item for a champion couldn't be built on that champion into certain matchups, okay? So, Riot, you're listening to me, Riot. Don't do this. Go back to 25 armor, 25 magic resist, okay? I promise you it will be better balanced. So it doesn't look like Iceborne Gauntlet has changed at all, other than the mythic passive is now giving Giga buffed 50 health, 5% tenacity, and 5% slow resist. So I wonder what Sunfire goes. Goliath's Incendiary. Giga HP of 800, Giga base health regen of 200%, and then 20 ability haste, because every mythic gives 20 ability haste, because that's just how Riot has balanced ability haste. Like, in the past, the issue was everyone needed to go ability haste early, cooldown reduction at the time, and so when they did the mythic system, they ensured that everyone had a ability to get early game ability haste, that no class was locked out of ability haste. One of the issues, if you played tanks before the durability update, you guys probably noticed that tanks really struggled to get ability haste, and it really was not fun to play a tank with 0% or 10% at most cooldown reduction throughout the game, okay? So anyway, health, armor, ability haste. Colossal Consumption! Charge up a powerful attack against a champion over 3 seconds while within 600 range of them. Are we playing Dragon Ball Z now? The charged attack drains the target, dealing 50 plus 10% of your maximum health as bonus physical damage and healing you for that same amount. You permanently gain maximum health equal to 15% of the drain. 30-second cooldown per target. Grant all other legendary items 1%, not a flat amount, 1% increased health and champion size. I gotta think about this for a second. Just, guys, I'm a mute. Just, I need to deduce. I'm going Sherlock Holmes on this one for a second. This seems really interesting, but I'm not sure if it's going to be good. Okay. Here are my thoughts. 1, it does physical damage. Physical damage has the issue that it gets heavily mitigated, okay? That means if you don't have some sort of armor pen, your physical damage will be heavily mitigated and you won't really get that much health. With even 100 armor, that reduces the damage to half. So, despite this looking extraordinarily good, with 10% of your maximum health as bonus physical damage means... Now, will it auto attack as well? Do you run into range and punch them? Or is it just its own... Like, are you going Kamehameha? There's a lot of questions not answered here. It's interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. At either rate, if your target has only 100 armor, you're already reduced to 7.3% per drain. You only get 0.75%. I don't know why I said what I said. Less than 1%. You get less than 1% of your maximum health permanently per hit. But that can add up rather quickly, I feel, if you hit that a few times. But here's the thing. The drain doesn't stack, right? I mean, it stacks in a literal sense, but if you use it early game, it's not like the amount drained. It's not going to go up just because you're leveling up. Do you understand me? Like if I'm playing Cho'Gath and I'm at like 1 feast and I use this item and then, I get that health. By the time I have the rank 3 of my ultimate and 10 feasts, it's not like the amount that I drained early game is going to give me more into the late game. So this item seems really, really good on paper, but in actual usage, I don't think it's actually going to end up being that good. No, because the amount of health you drain early game isn't going to matter into the late game. And I feel like it's not gonna work. I feel like it's gonna be a really fun item, and once again, we're gonna see a lot of Reddit front page posts with people going, "Man, yeah." I mean, that's what it always is. Whenever tanks do anything, there's just an 80 carry, "Meow. There's just me, a dude who goes Goliath Ascendary into Frozen Heart, who for some reason just gets ignored in every team fight, and he just like Kamehamehas all 5 people like 10 times in a row, and then he's got like a 10,000 health Maokai healing for like 1,000 HP every passive, and there's gonna be a Reddit post just going meh, like that. That's I think it also has some other counters, things like Blade of the Ruined King, percent health damage items. It seems really good in theory, but in actual practice, I kind of doubt it's gonna be that much. Rod of Ages is being added back because people are stupid, and they said, "I want Rod of Ages back," and Riot said, "But it's just a stupid item. It's just a stat stick," and everyone said, "No, I want this item because no," and okay, so Riot, I guess, is saying, okay, back, we'll add your stupid item back. Your stupid item that no one cares about. Okay, 60 ability power, 300 health, 300 mana. The item gains 20 health, 20 mana, and 4 ability power every minute up to 10 times. For a maximum of 200 health, 200 mana, 40 ability power. So once again, we're back to 500 health, 500 mana, 100 ability power if you stack it. Upon reaching max stacks, gain a level. The level cap will remain at 18. Mythic passive, grant all other legendary items 5 ability haste. Yeah. It's a stat stick, and it's so stat sticky that I think it's actually going to see use. For some champions like Swain, I definitely think Swain might go this one. Landry's is a bit hard to give up though. Landry's is such an overpowered item. it would be really hard to give up Leandries. The amount of damage you get from Leandries over the game is really, really, really good. But for champions that want to level up, champions who have like level thresholds, like how Cassidy gets way stronger at 11 and then at 16, I can see Rada Ages maybe being used. Okay, so I'm reading here, but I actually know how the game works. You guys, I'm sorry, you don't actually know how the game works, but I actually understand the exact functionalities of the game. Here's the issue. Much like any RPG, the amount of XP you need to level increases each level, okay? So going from level 10 to 11 takes less XP than going from 11 to 12. So despite this free level seeming extremely good, it's actually not going to remain a level for that much longer, okay? So it will take you longer to level up than other people. You will get less XP on a kill because if you're over leveled versus an enemy, you get less XP from killing them. However, if they're under your level, they get more XP from killing you. This item might actually end up backfiring because it could actually, in a weird sense, end up just increasing the XP of your enemies as well as you, but not the rest of your team. Okay? Catalyst of Aeons. This is not a mythic, so I'm assuming this builds into Rada Ages. 225 health, 300 mana, eternity, restore mana equal to 15% damage taken from champions. And health equal to 20% of mana spent, up to 15 per cast. Toggled abilities can only heal for up to 15 health per second. Yeah. I mean, it's Catalyst. It's, you know, it's not really that exciting. I'm sure there's someone sitting here at home. Somebody, okay, I guarantee one of you saw Rod of Ages as being returned, and you're just like, yes! Yes! And then you saw Catalyst, and you were like, ah! Me? Though, I'm sitting here like, oh, cool. They're adding the shitty stat stick items back. Cool. Who gives any single care in the world? They're just stupid stat stick items. They're not exciting at all. I don't know why people like them so much. They're dumb. They're stupid. They're not entertaining. Abyssal Mask. Not a mythic, by the way. Note that. Not a mythic. Okay, so forget everything you know about the old Abyssal Mask, which is not much. Does anyone even remember that Abyssal Mask is in the game? Anyway, forget it. 500 health. That's a good chunk of health. 300 mana. Okay, so it's locked off from Mundo again. Mundo sits there. He's like just peering in the window. 40 magic resist, 10 ability haste. Pretty good stat line right here. Good for Rise. Rise will love this. Riot refuses to remove Rise's mana ratios because they're so good and healthy for the game. Wink! They're not. Restore mana equal to 15% of damage taken from champions and health equal to 20% of mana spent, up to 15 per cast. Toggles up, blah, 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 blah. It builds out a catalyst. Big whoop. Okay. Unmake. Curse nearby enemy champions, reducing the magic resist by 5 plus 1.5% health, maximum 25. For each cursed enemy, gain 9 magic resist. Okay, so it works like Abyssal Mask does now. A champion can only be cursed by one enemy at a time. Okay, so they're basically taking Abyssal, and I think they're adding more health. Does it have 500 now? I don't really know, if I'm gonna be blunt with you. It's just health, mana, magic resist, a little bit of ability haste, and infinite mana. Yeah, so, yeah, that's basically it. Champions that do a lot of magic damage and also want to be tanky now have an item that can do a lot of magic damage while being tanky. And also you get unlimited mana. I mean, this is effectively unlimited mana. I mean, let's be real about that one. It's not blowing my mind. I can imagine, I'm gonna be honest, I can't imagine any champion that actually wants to build this. Does anyone actually run out of mana? ever anymore? Does anyone ever actually run out of mana? Does anyone at all, ever? I'm gonna be honest, I mean, there's like Maokai, I guess? I mean, that's it. And even Maokai, you just go mana flow ban, big whoop. Sunfire Aegis, no longer a mythic item. Oh no. Sunfire is returning to being an armor item. Riot, please. We talked about this, Riot. The reason Sunfire gets armor and magic resist is a lot of tanks need to go Sunfire, and if they're fighting a magic damage team, it really sucks that you won't deal any damage unless you build an item that you can't build. If I'm playing Ornn, or I'm playing Mundo, or I'm playing Zac, it really sucks. It really sucks that I can't fairly build this item because, oh, it's got armor. Okay, Sunfire Aegis, no longer a mythic item. I already read through the Immolate passive. I multitasked, sorry. So basically, it no longer does the double damage on hit. So you know how right now you stack up Sunfire, it does a lot of damage. Then after it stacks up, you hit someone and it doubles the damage. That double damage has been removed. Yep, that's it. So it's just basically a giga nerfed Sunfire that doesn't even give magic resist anymore. I'm gonna be honest, this is not exciting me, not even slightly. They have basically killed Sunfire completely. This will be buffed. I guarantee this will be buffed. Hopefully they bring it back being an armor and magic resist item. Because right now it just is bad. It's really bad. And it's only good if you're fighting a bruiser, which once again, okay, so I'm gonna explain to you guys a problem. If Sunfire is only good when you're fighting a bruiser, it means it needs to be overtuned to be relevant. But now if it's overtuned to be relevant, that means that every tank rushes Sunfire and beats the shit out of bruisers and then gets outscaled eventually, because you can't just have tanks beat bruisers the entire game. So it just leads to an extraordinarily unfun meta, where every tank will go Sunfire and plated steel caps and bramble vest and have 200 armor and deal a lot of damage and beat the shit out of you, and you can't do anything because they have 200 fucking armor. But then in return, they slowly fall off in the game. It's not fun to like automatically lose and then automatically win. Okay, Turbo Cum Tank is no longer a mythic item. Fair enough. Health, magic resist, ability haste. Wait, how come Sunfire gets 400 health and Turbo Cum Tank gets 450 health? Is that where all the cum went? And then, yeah, its damage has been removed, and now it's back to being pre-durability update. It's just back to being the giga movement speed and slow. Yeah, that's it. Kind of, once again, a really boring item. Really boring. Not exciting me, not even slightly. I'm seeing Randuin's Omen down here, and I'm hesitant. Because every time Riot has touched Omen, they have made it shittier. If you guys have been playing this game for 10 years, Randuin's Omen was one of straight up the best items in the entire game. Randuin's Omen was up there with like one of the best items that has ever been in the game. And every single time Riot has touched this item, they have made it worse. They have made it worse every single time. Every time they touch this item, it gets shittier. So let's see what they're doing with it. Hopefully they're not just taking a dump on it. Please, it's actually in a decent spot. I don't mind building it. Please don't kill it, Riot. 400 health, okay. 70 armor, fair enough. Active, humility. I think it should be called humiliate. Can we just call it active sexually humiliate? Because there's something about turning on the aura and then you just like reduce all their crit damage, and then the 80 carries like pew 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 for like no damage. I feel like that's just a form of sexual humiliation. Anyway, bravely slow enemies by 55% for 2 seconds. Okay, so we're back to the old active, and it has the crit. So, oh, they're reverting it. Okay, so they're reverting it, but they're keeping the rock solid passive. Actually, for once in... Well, wait, but they removed the ability haste. Oh. Well, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need, which is the critical strike passive coming back. So, okay, Omen, it's okay. Actually, this looks good again. I can imagine, once again, we're back. Each team is going to have an Omen. There's going to be, I see Spirit Shojin. I'm not talking about it because we're keeping this segmented. We're going to keep talking about Omen for now. Omen, fan-freaking-tastic. No, this is back to Jax jumping into the middle of your team, procking Omen. This is back to Irelia jumping in the middle of your team, procking Omen. We're gonna see Mundo with Omen. We're gonna see all this shit, and they're gonna jump in the middle of your team, and they're gonna pop Omen, giving the Giga slow while being tanky as shit. The AD carry will be emasculated when their crits are doing less damage to you. Inevitably, it's gonna be built on Akali. Riot's gonna refuse to nerf Akali. They'll rework Omen for the 9th time to be even shittier. But before they do that, before they rework Omen because of Akali, which is literally what happened last time, they will have given it back for a little bit. Spear of Shojin. Spear of Shojin is coming back. It's back. I'm 65 attack damage. Hey, just as much as it used to be. 300 health. Hey, 20 ability haste. Hey. So what does it do? Dragon Force. Your non-ultimate spells gain 6 plus 10% bonus AD for melee champions, 4 plus 6% bonus AD for ranged champions. Ability haste. Reduced to 3 blah 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 for immobilizing spells. Wait, what? Wait. Reduced to 3 Okay. What do they count as an immobilizing spell? Because they have never... That's never been something they've clarified. Does that count like Aatrox's Q? Aatrox's Q would be immobilizing, right? Counter-Strike would be immobilizing. Renekton's W would be immobilizing. So... Does Riven's entire Q count, then? Like, Riven's entire Q chain and her W would count then as well, right? I mean, this means Riven can actually start going infinite on her E. She can actually infinite E. She can literally just start going, and actually just start moving around the map only on shield dashes. She can finally go from one end of the map to the other, just going, Okay, so who is this good for then? Well, let's look at the second thing. Gain up to 15% from melee champions, 10% from range champions, increased movement speed based on your missing health. Sorry, I was doing a bit. It seems to have backfired. My bad. Olaf, dude. Olaf. 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 Fuck all of you. It's good on Olaf. Obviously. What are you, stupid? Gain up to 15% increased movement speed based on your missing health, maxed out when below 33%. Okay, this is significant. This is actually a really goddamn big deal. This means Darius, Olaf, Ilaoi, I'm literally gonna pull up the list here of top laners. Set, Set, Renekton, Olaf, Garen, every Juggernaut in the world. Oh my god, Garen needed more movement speed, and now he's finally getting it. Garen's about to be a goddamn sexual cheetah on your ass, dude. Okay, this is significant. This is really actually a big deal. Not only this Dragon Force passive extraordinarily good, but this exigency passive is also extraordinarily good. This is actually a fundamental game changer. We might actually be back into Juggernaut meta. Do you guys remember Juggernaut meta? Anyone remember that? We might be back in Juggernaut meta. Oh my god. Oh my god. So you start with Stridebreaker or Gore Drinker, depending on your champion, or Trinity. I mean, you start with any Bruiser Mythic, okay? You go into Spirit Shojin, into Randuin's Omen, into a Force of Nature. You have all the damage in the world you would ever need. You got tankiness, you got Giga Armor. The Giga Armor gives the crit damage reduction now. 80 carries are about to have their dick just right off here. This is such... Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I suspect this is probably gonna be nerfed in PvE. If it isn't, good. You know? But holy shit! Okay, guys, 6 plus 10% ability haste on non-ultimate spells. 6 plus 10% AD. That means if you Olaf ult, you're gonna get like 30 ability haste. While that doesn't sound like a lot, I don't give a shit about the ability haste. I care about the goddamn movement speed. Just permanent goddamn movement speed. This item is so good. This fills such a good niche for this item. This is such... Like, I feel like I had a part of my soul that was missing. There was a part of my soul. My heart was missing in its chest cavity. And now, Riot, they've returned it. Because this is... No longer will you need to go Ghost on every Juggernaut in the game to finally be relevant. No longer, as Olaf, for example, will I have to be going Ghost. 15% movement speed is enough. It's not like Giga. But the thing is, like, it means I mean, obviously I'm still gonna go Ghost, because fuck you, I'm gonna run you down and you can't stop me. But it means when my Ghost is down, I can actually still be relevant on Darius, on Olaf. If you guys have played those champions, you would know how frustrating it is to be playing those champions when your Ghost is down. You can often just find yourself not really doing anything. But now, into bad matchups with Darius, I can go Ignite and remain relevant in the late game. If I'm going Renekton, I can go Spirit Shojin, and I don't need to do the jank Forced Ghost anymore. This is really good, and it fills such a niche that Bruisers were having. Okay. Ravenous Hydra. Oh, this is the last one already? We were having such a good time, though. Ravenous Hydra. 65 attack damage, 20 ability haste, 9% Omnivamp. Cleave. Attacks and abilities deal AoE damage. Fair enough. Carnivorous! Okay. Gain 0.5 AD and 0.1% Omnivamp when you kill an enemy. Stacking up to 25 AD and 5% Omnivamp. Lose 50% of those stacks on death. So this is old Bloodthirster, but for Bruisers. Ezreal is gonna love this shit, dude. Ezreal will never die. They're probably gonna nerf this on ranged champions, let's be fair. Okay, but the thing is, 25 AD, that would push it, would that be 90 attack damage? Can you imagine Aatrox with 90 attack damage? I'm gonna be dead honest to you. That's a lot of attack damage. Can only hit each target once per attack or ability every 10 seconds. Oh. Ow. 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 Eh. Yeah, that kind of killed my enthusiasm. I saw this AoE and I was like, okay, so I can be like Aatrox and I can do like Q into a Q into a Q, and it's like, you know, like the enemy team's just like, it's Aatrox, like just fucking explodes, death and destruction, right? Like that's how I was imagining it in my head. And then can only hit each target once per attack or ability every 10 seconds. So that's one auto attack, one ability. So once per attack or ability. So there's two ways, I think, to think about it. A, it's once per 10 seconds period, or it's once per every attack and every ability. But I think it's just every 10 seconds. It's not... This is not very, you know, they're kind of removing the cool aspect of it. The entire thing that made Ravenous Hydra cool before they nerfed it into the ground was going Ravenous Hydra on Aatrox and just doing like, you know, like kaboom, boom, boom. I don't know. It really left on a sour note here. It's like they're trying to add back Bloodthirster, but they're trying to make Bloodthirster also Ravenous Hydra. I feel like they should have just chosen one. If you're gonna add back old Bloodthirster, then just add back old Bloodthirster. And to be honest, it was a bad idea to try to add back old Bloodthirster to begin with. It's actually, to be completely honest, I think old Bloodthirster was removed for a reason, because it's really bad to have old Bloodthirster. That's why it was removed. It was removed because it is bad for the game. I mean, certainly everyone understands that, right? Like, it's really snowbally, because if you die, then you lose your stats. Now you're just gonna die again, right? So it's just a bad idea to have Bloodthirster added back into the game. But ignoring the Carnivorous, even then, it just, like, this 10-second timer is just ridiculous, man. That's just ridiculous. I don't know what they're doing. It's just a lame stat stick. The AoE basically doesn't matter because no one, it's lame. I don't like it. Yeah, and guys, you can stack this on minions. How are you guys not thinking it's stacking on minions? Whenever you kill an enemy, what do you think you need to get like 50 champion kills to stack it? Really, guys? Who's gonna get 50 champion kills? Think about common sense, people. Okay, and this concludes the preseason 2023 PBE preview. We can't wait to see how you all use these tools to level up your game and what fun discoveries you'll make as you test out all these changes. Thanks for reading. We hope you see you on the Rift. Well, I guess let's do a recap starting from the top to the bottom then. Chemtech is coming back, but it's not Chemtech Dragon. They're adding another Tank Dragon, but it seems to be more of a Bruiser Dragon. It's like a Giga Bruiser Dragon, to be honest. I'm a Bruiser player, and I already see a lot of people complaining about how much this dragon favors Bruisers. So I'm not sure that's gonna happen. Jungle's getting buffed because who asked? Who asked Jungle to get buffed, right? Who asked? Find me who asked. Everyone, I want you to go find who asked. Find them. Leashing range indicators, that's good. Lowering the skill cap on Jungle is good. Recommended Jungle Pass is good. Now everyone can just clear the bot lane. Communication tools, it's not wonderful, but now I can finally bait in the top lane, so that's fine. I'll just sit in a brush and bait. Updated ping wheels, great. New vision pings are great. Objective voting, I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit weird, but whatever. Off-screen pings, those are probably good. Allied ward tracking is good. Enemy ward timers is really bad. Really, I really think Riot needs to rethink this one. I don't like this at all. Yeah. Loadout and ability recommendations, these are good. Top lane changes. Okay, my issue with top lane changes. Here's my problem. Can you all understand me with this one? Can you all get behind me? The issue I have with top lane changes is that buffing the XP for top lane isn't going to do that much, but nerfing, this isn't even top lane buffs. They're just nerfing bot lane and they're nerfing mid lane. I mean, fundamentally, that's what they're doing, right? Everyone can agree with that, right? Does everyone get that? Like, that, I mean, that's in a literal sense, that's what they're doing. Because mid lane gets less gold, bot lane gets less XP. It's not really even a buff for top lane, it's just a nerf for mid and bot lane. Okay. New and updated item, Icathia's Endurance. This is the one that makes you giga tanky. This one is interesting. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really sure what's going on with it, but okay. This is definitely gonna be good on somebody. Somebody is gonna use this item and piss off everyone. Someone will use it, I promise you. Radiant Virtue, this is the Mundo item. I think this is basically only going to be good on Mundo. I'm going to be honest, this is just basically Mundo! Exclamation mark, the item. Iceborne Gauntlet. Okay, so Iceborne Gauntlet doesn't have the AoE damage anymore, right? So it only, no wait. After using an ability, oh wait, this is, oh shit, I didn't read this all the way through. After using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with an additional 100% base AoE physical damage and creates a frost field for 2.5 seconds. So it's the old Iceborne Gauntlet coming back. Oh, I did not read this all the way through. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, recalculating. Iceborne Gauntlet with no mana opens up its possibilities considerably. It is no mana. That was 100% of its balance issues that we saw Victor build it, Ezreal build it, Ryze build it. They would just get tanky with it. But now it doesn't have mana, which, think about it. Are you guys thinking? You guys using that head? Think for a second here. This means that Iceborne Gauntlet can now be used on Mundo. It can now be used on Nasus, really well even. It can now be used on Malphite without having the huge, without having like 500 of its gold value going into mana. All of a sudden, a lot of different champions can start building this item who didn't need giga mana or didn't need mana at all. So a lot of champions are going to go back, and instead of going for Divine Sunderer or instead of going for Trinity, they can now go and grab Iceborne Gauntlet. That now think about this. Mundo and Nasus and even Mordekaiser going Iceborne Gauntlet. Okay, probably not Mordekaiser. I'll be fair, probably not Mordekaiser. But they go Iceborne Gauntlet. They get that tenacity, that slow resist, that health, that slow, the perma slow, the health, the armor, the ability haste. Maybe Maokai even? Maokai. You never know. Maybe Maokai. Yeah, maybe Maokai. Okay, Goliath Descendary. This one looks far better than it is, in my opinion. I think this item is actually not going to be as good as anyone thinks it is. I'm not. It's like cool. It's like the Kamehameha item, but I'm gonna be honest. You're asking a lot to keep champions in range for 3 seconds with 600 range. It's hard to judge, but I really don't think this is going to be as good as they think it is. I think this is just going to be the Reddit item. It's just going to be the item that people go on Reddit and they complain about because, no, Goliath, I let the Maokai hit us 900 times throughout the game. And now he's too tanky. No, like that's just what I see happening. Rada Ages is I don't care. This is stupid. Stupid item. Catalyst, no one cares. Abyssal Mask, it's the old Abyssal Mask, but now it gives infinite mana. It seems Riot had no idea what to do with Abyssal Mask. So it was like someone's just saying, it's like, what if it gave infinite mana too? And they're like, screw it, sure, fine. Abyssal Mask gives it. Like, they didn't change anything. It now just gives infinite mana. Okay. Sunfire Aegis is no longer mythic. It needs to have armor and magic resist again, right? Or I assure you, this will lead to unfun gameplay. Turbo Chemtech is now a Giga Magic Resist item with abilities. I'm assuming we're just gonna see Turbo Chemtech used on like probably like a Maokai or something who's laning into a magic damage champion. They'll just go Turbo Chemtech, or maybe they'll even just go Abyssal Mask if they're into a magic damage champion. I don't know. Randuin's Omen is back, baby. This is gonna be the ultimate stat stick to keep you alive. Hopefully double 80 carry comps die. Hopefully comps that just keep 180 carry alive die. It's not gonna stop Kog'Maw, it's not gonna stop Vayne, but the stupid shit where they do double enchanter with like a Kaisa or a Misfortune, that should hopefully, Randuin's Omen should hopefully start actually dealing with that. Spear Shojin is extraordinarily good. This item is so goddamn good. This item is insane. Just, I don't even care about the numbers. Just, well, I mean, obviously I do care about the numbers. I mean, the numbers need to be good, right? But the fact that I don't 100% need Ghost to be a relevant team fighter anymore on champions like Olaf is so freaking amazing, right? This means Olaf can do Stride Breaker into Death Stance into Spear Shojin, and I can actually be relevant. Now, obviously, I'll be squishier because it only has 300 health, but the mere fact that I don't 100% require, I do not require going Ghost, or at the very least, I mean, obviously he'll still take Ghost, but the fact that you don't need and require Ghost to be relevant against a half-decent team comp is such a big deal. I think Spear Shojin also potentially, I don't know for sure, but it potentially, in all honesty, I don't even think it's Olaf. I think Spear Shojin is mostly going to make Set relevant at the high ranks, because at Set, you'll be able to do Stride Breaker or even Gore Drinker into Spear Shojin, and Spear Shojin will make your champion actually able to be relevant in the mid to late game. Whereas right now, you're only really there for flash plays with your W. Okay. Ravenous Hydra, boring as shit. I don't give a shit. And that's it. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a comment down below. And as always, you can find a link in my description. There we go, the other way around. You can find a link in my description to join my Patreon. For as little as $3 a month, you can continue to support Hashinshin, because Hashinshin needs your support to eat and do videos. So that would be fantastic. Special shout out as well. Thank you to my YouTube members. You guys are brilliant. Thank you for being YouTube members. Thank you, everybody. And thank you anyone who just gets this far in the video. So thank you, everybody. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone.